A young boy discovered a golden elixir and a martial arts manual in a mountain cave, and he began to train desperately in its techniques. After 7 whole years, he completely mastered the contents of the ancient manual. But strangely, even after all that time, there wasn't the slightest fluctuation of spiritual energy in his body. The young man began to doubt the effectiveness of the technique he'd been cultivating. Now, with no cultivation at all, how was he supposed to avenge his parents? As it turned out, 7 years ago, his uncle, in a struggle to seize the position of clan leader, had ruthlessly murdered his older brother and sister-in-law, and even threw the boy off a cliff. That fall, however, led him to unexpectedly obtain the martial arts manual. But even after training for 7 years, he didn't improve at all. But he was unaware that he had already reached the highest realm of returning to simplicity, a state where power is hidden, not absent. It was finally time for him to descend the mountain and avenge his parents. He pulled a sword embedded in a stone and struck a stone lion with his palm. The next second, the rock-solid statue shattered like tofu. Just as he descended the mountain, he encountered 3 martial artists chasing an old man. The young man didn't want to get involved, fearing he'd be killed by mistake, and tried to sneak away. But after just one step, he was noticed by one of the martial artists, who demanded he stop. Seeing he'd been spotted, the boy stepped forward and asked his seniors to let him go. To his shock, the old master teleported right beside him and started attacking him violently. But the young man easily dodged every strike. They immediately realized he was no ordinary person. Unable to tolerate it, the old master unleashed his full power, throwing a fierce punch, which the young man also handled effortlessly. The other 2 swordsmen immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. Still unaware of how terrifyingly strong he had become, the young man pretended to be a master and sent them away. But they hadn't gone far when the old man he had saved offered him his daughter's hand in marriage out of gratitude. The young man declined, saying he was already engaged, and walked off in style. He soon arrived at the home of his fiancée, where he presented the betrothal token. Unexpectedly, the matriarch of the Jiang family looked down on him, saying a man with no cultivation whatsoever was unworthy of her daughter. The fiancée quickly explained the truth. Since the young man's father died, their family had been oppressed by the Wang family and was now barely surviving. She didn't want to be dragged down with them, and had the servant give him some silver for travel expenses. Just then, the old man he had rescued earlier arrived. When a servant reported that a poor young man had come to propose marriage, the old man stormed in angrily, yelling, "Which fool dares to come propose marriage to the Jiang family?" But when he saw it was the young man, his attitude instantly changed. He immediately told his wife and daughter to be quiet and agreed to the marriage on the spot, even declaring the wedding would take place that very night, because he alone knew how powerful the young man truly was. As they prepared for the wedding night, the Wang family's elder barged into the Jiang family manor with a group of people, threatening them. He declared a challenge, a duel where the loser would have to hand over their family's property. If they didn't accept, the entire Jiang family would be wiped out. Left with no choice, they agreed to the duel. The youngest daughter of the Jiang family couldn't stand it, and was the first to enter the arena, but she was clearly no match for her opponent. Yet their father remained calm, because he knew the young man was there to hold the line. Sure enough, the girl was defeated after just a few moves. The head of the Jiang family had no choice but to let the young man take the stage to teach him a lesson. He told the crowd that the young man was a peerless martial arts master, but the opponent laughed wildly, mocking him. A cohabitating son-in-law stepping onto the stage is just asking for death. But to everyone's surprise, the young man turned out to be a match for the Jiang family patriarch.